of the establishment inside the country. As we kept communication until untimely death in Angola, Dr. arrangements for the repatriation of Tate Makgoe to South Africa via Zambia, where I accompanied the late Barnard Makgoe to Lusaka. Comrade Tate and Comrade Listas Kosana came to Zambia to collect the body. Unfortunately, that days, they refused me to get inside the country because they said I'm highly terrorist. Program director, remember the ANC was still banned, and if I recall very well, Barnard Makgoe was the first MK soldier to be buried in South Africa, in Tumahole, from exile. I remember Comrade Tate.
Your 4 minutes is over, so you can wrap up.
DG practice is 4 minutes, per second. I remember Comrade Tate on my return from exile. He said, "Happy, go to school. What do you have?" Then I said, "Comrade Tate, I've got my entry, which was in Yugoslavia." Bear in mind, when we were in exile, we used different names. Until today, I couldn't get. He organized with NCC to me to go to school. I was later deployed to the Free State to join comrades to open the ANC offices as MK administrator in the ANC Northern Free State by 10 in Velcom, Masada building. Masada, later Comrade Tate was elected the provincial treasury of the ANC Northern Free State, and he served with honor. Program director. I don't want to deal more on our political career. He will always encourage me to go to school. He organized with vets business school to study police policy management, and I further studied the very same course in Britain. That was because of Comrade Tate. During our stay in Ottendal, that was this time that he met Me Ivy in Velcom during our political work, and I will always be sent to fetch Me Ivy, and finally married to her. Comrade Tate will always tell me about his lovely family and invite me whenever they had a party and ask me to stay something, untold stories that I would, me and Me Ivy we know. Program director, I can talk the whole day. But if I had to talk about Comrade Tate and Me Ivy, untold stories, Sis Ivy Palesa, Maki Tate Jr., Tate Makgoe o re sile re sa qeta ho tswellisa ditakaso tsa hae tsohle pele. To the Free State Government, Department of Education and Free State Government, Comrade Tate laid the road for the Free State under these difficult times. Let's pick up his spear and move forward. To Me Ivy and Makgoe family, God of yesterday is still God of today and will be God of tomorrow. In conclusion, I just want to quote this is 2 sentences, DG.
Yeah.
Yes. DG one. Oh, DG. Remember, to the family, remember that hope, open brackets, this is the quote from Nelson Mandela. Remember that hope is a powerful weapon even when all else is lost. To Me Ivy. Thank you, DG.
Ke a leboha Ntate DG, mopremere wa ka Ntate Moqolisi, Mme NG Motshekga, ke sentse ke kadima ditumediso tsohle tse seng di entswe ke di buitse buileng pele ho nna. Ka seboko ke Mofokeng, mme ho tlwaelehile hore Bafokeng ba batshehadi ke batho ba sebedi. Empa tsatsing la kajeno ke a fokola. That's why I decided to bring my brother to be here so that he can support me. If I fall, he will carry on. Lebitso la hae ke Ntate Molefi Makaka. Ke moahlodi wa mmuso wa motlotlehi wa Lesotho. Ntate Letsela Boraro ke a leboha. Ke tsebile Ntate Makgoe ka dilemo tse ngata ke bile le ena dinthong tse ngata tse fapakaneng, mme ke ile ka ithuta sebopeo sa hae. Then I was employed by Woolworths, and then I saw the opportunity. Then I just sat down and said, I'm tired of being employed. I also want to be on the other side of the table and be an employer. Woolworths advertised a couple of franchise stores throughout the country. I sat down, I wrote 4 pages of names, and I started analyzing them. I ended up with Tate. Back then, I used to call him Comrade Tate. But hona jwale re ne re se re bitsana partner. Those who know us, ba ne ba tseba hore ne re bitsana partner. I communicated with Tate Makgoe, who did not know that Woolworths has got franchise stores. And those who know Tate, you cannot tell Tate something and then Tate does not do the research. I was in Johannesburg when I was speaking to him. Then I came back, we met. When I met with him, I thought I was going to brief him. Instead, he told me more about Woolworths. He had more questions than anything else. And then he felt that, let's go for it, partner, let's do it. But the interesting part was when we had to go through different stages. But when we got to the stage where we had to prepare the business plan, I called him, I received the email, then I said, okay, there's an email, did you see? They want us to submit the business plan on Sunday, and this was on a Monday. He said to me, no, don't worry, I'll come see you around 3 o'clock. He came to Woolworths, we sat down, he came with a book this much big. I was like, okay, what's going on here? He opened the book and he said to me, this is the business plan, this is how business plan it's been done. I was like, no, but I've never done this. Why can't we get the professionals to do it? He said, no, we are not going to allow anybody to do it. We are going to do it. I am going to teach you how to do it. I called a friend and said, I'm going to take the hair to Amudim. However, I went back home. I started going through the book. It started to make sense. I spoke to him the next day. I said, okay, fine, it's making sense. I'll start to write my own rubbish. He said, it's fine. Start your own rubbish and then we'll put it together. On a Friday, we sat down working on this business plan, something that was new to me, but Tate helped me to understand that the fear of unknown will not take you anywhere. May Ivy, thank you. The whole weekend you never saw your husband because he was with me writing the business plan. But because you have always been the supporting system to your husband, you allowed him to come and stay with me, and he was only seeing you for a few hours, and then we worked on that. On a Sunday, we were done, and we were able to send the business plan to Woolworths. And I thank Tate for that, because even if you can wake me up in the middle of the night and say, write the business plan, I'll definitely do it. Nobody can take that away from me, simply because I had a good business partner. Menji, ke kutlo re Tate Makgoe o re o ba shape, o be o ba phete. It happened in Woolworths. I have my colleagues, the ex-Woolworths franchisees who are here to support us. They can attest to this. May Ivy, in 2009, you were there. We collected every award that you can ever dream of. And the following year, in 2010, that's when Woolworths decided that they are no longer going to franchise. They are no longer going to franchise anymore. But me and Tate, we had a serious discussion with the board. We said, we want to finish our own contract. We still left with 4 years. They said, no, but everybody else is out. Why do you want to? We said, we want to finish it. And indeed, we're the only standing Woolworths franchisees for the last 3 years when everybody else was out of the system. And that was Tate for you. And that was not it. Even in the Franchise Association of South Africa, Woolworths was always making it a point that they put us, and we've won so many awards. Tate was something else. Ke kopa ntate o santse a re ke qete empa ke tla qeta ke kopa o ntumelle fela ntate. Ke kopa ho qotsa bukeng ya difela tsa Sione sefela sa 308. Ke sefela se ratwang haholo seo batho ba se binang kaofela. Empa hangata ha ba se bine ka tsela e nepaetseng. Sefela sena se re ke dumetse. Nthole morena. Ka mehla batho ha ba bina ba re ntlhatswe o ntlhakodisise ha se tjho jwalo Sesotho ha se tjho jwalo se re ntlhatswe ntlhokodisise. That is Tate. God did set Tate apart. Tate was the class of his own. Tate was different. Last week I did not realize that you were saying a goodbye to me. Deputy Minister, I was with you in Mthatha. When you were busy speaking, he called me. I kept on switching it off, and then I decided, let me just go out. We spoke for a very long time, but don't ask me what we discussed, because I don't know. It was on a Tuesday when we came back, he called, where are you? Said, no, I'll be in Bloemfontein at 4:30. He came to see me. The Wednesday, the same thing. The Thursday, but the Friday, that's when he put the cherry on top of the cake. He called again, where are you? I said, I'm at my house. Said, okay, we'll meet at the garage. Said, no, I'm coming to pick you up. He came and said, thank you. We discussed a whole lot of things that we wanted to do with him. He did something very strange. He went to buy 2 cold drinks. He gave me one and then he took one. He left, but he came back again to buy 2 packets of nuts. He gave me one and he took one. I did not realize that Tate was saying goodbye to me. I did not realize that I'm going to lose a partner. Tate became part of my family. Tate, le Ivy, Linda, I'm part of the Makgoe's family. I feel empty. I am finished, but I trust in the Lord that He will give me the strength. Robala ka khotso, my partner, I'll miss you dearly. I'll carry on where we ended. Me Ivy, kinsekele teng. Palisa, Maggie, Junior, Nesh, I'm here. I'm not going anywhere. I'm part of this family. This was created by God, not me. Thank you. I love you. Bye-bye.
Okay. There was an attempt to ensure that the time is saved. The speakers here took 23.3 minutes. 23.3. I had my stopwatch here. Mangaliso took 6 minutes. Pule Mulalanyane took 4.1. This one, Pule Mulalanyane was on point. 4 minutes. Happy Tilozan is 6.3. And Clara, 7 minutes. So don't emulate those that passed my 4 minutes. As we proceed, Tebo, let's welcome the children by our brother here, Tate Makgoe, our colleague. Let's welcome them here, Palisa, Nash, Maki, Junior, Didi, Tumi, Pelo, Katleo, and Khozo. And also, wherever they are, the others must remain standing there. Tate Makgoe, Masentle Tlaletsi, Morena Molehe, Mukhema, and Pulaetsile Makgoe. Thank you. Wabona wena Tebo wa itaola. Ke itse o bina pina e le nngwe wena o bina tse pedi. Ke nna laola mona. Ska ba leka wa itaola. Let's invite Makgoe's children to advance to the podium and give some tribute to their father, their beloved father, their steward, and their mentor, but also their protector. Let's give Palisa to lead, and then we will take Maki. If Maggie can't do it, we will allow Nash to support Maggie, and then we will allow Junior. You can come close. If you want to come and stand here all out at the same time, it's fine, but if you want to be seated there, it's also okay. But when I Junior, it's mandatory to come and support your sister. Come next. Yeah, when I support your sister. As they speak, you support them. Okay, over to you.
Good morning, everybody. I would like to start by honoring and recognizing state officials, dignitaries, and leaders of the ANC, the church, and church leaders, friends, and family at large. My name is Palesa Kulunga, and I am Osman Giti and Tate's firstborn child. What a week this has been. You know, I wrote a speech and I thought that, you know, like I was going to be fine, but this week has been so painful for me. More especially on the 5th of March when I heard that my dad passed away. The MECs all came to the house. And for the first time, all the MECs were there except for my father. And that's the one thing that made it so heartbreaking, and it made me see that it's true that my dad is no longer around. I'm going to talk about the man that is lying there. What a remarkable man that he was. I loved him and he loved me. He loved all of us. There's one thing that my dad always told me is that, Paleza, you need to go and study. You can get anything that you want in this life, but only if you study. Education is the only thing in your life that nobody will ever take away from you. So, another thing that he told me is that I must always stand on my own 2 feet, because he said that one day I will not be around. But I just never thought that saying would one day be a reality. Especially, and what I realized this morning was that today is the 12th of March, and it's exactly two months before his 60th birthday. So we could not celebrate his birthday without him, which is it's just something. As Ivy. Te toka na rata, ono marata. Ke kopa hore just keep the love that he had for you in your heart, carry it in your heart. It's gonna be hard. My pain and your pain is not the same, but just know that everybody's here for you. You should reach out when you need help. I will also reach out when I need to talk to you, because you know my dad much more better than anybody else here. To my siblings, live strong. Like, it's gonna be hard because we are all without a father right now. So what you also we need to carry his teachings and the lessons that he taught us in like throughout our lives. And I'm gonna end up with the quote here. May each tear and each fond memory be a note of love raising to meet you. Rest in peace. Rest in peace, Poka. Baogeng tetsang motho yo ke Poka. Ke motho wa ga maphalanya motlatla matodi. Magana le tsholo ha ba ja ga ba gadimane ke magadimana ntweng o tlile a magolo a Phokeng tlhokomela Phoka e se re o bona motho a gagogetswe ke ditlhako wa re gongwe ke Phoka nya Phoka ga e gagole ditlhako Phoka ya nosetsa ke a leboga.
Welcome, officials and all protocols observed. My dad once did an interview with the Express News where he was asked what inspires him. My dad's response was, "My daughter Maggie. She serves a great inspiration to me as she tackles challenges head on. She is very brave for her age. I am very proud of her. She ventured into business selling skambani at her school, Unisi, and to me, this stands out as she is not forced by circumstances to do this, but she runs her own life." My dad never let me forget how proud he was of me and always reminded me of who I was when I lost confidence. He ensured that I understand that you do not become limited because of failure if you learn from it. I already understood from a young age that my time with my dad was limited because he was not only my father, or a father to my siblings and I, but also a father to the children of the Free State. I understood that he had to give 100% of himself, just the same way he gave 100% of himself to us. He truly believed in poverty alleviation begins when the child is still young, and to develop that love for education in them, because that was his own experience. The beautiful part is I never felt an absence because when he was present, he devoted himself to us in such a way that made you feel like you were the only thing that mattered in his world. Believing in girl children and women was not something he just did because it was trendy. It's something he truly believed in. He showed it in the way he encouraged and empowered me and the girls around me. He led by example by fully encouraging my mom to be who she is and crediting and praising her for the good work she would do. He showed me that a loving husband does not dim your light, but instead illuminates it. When I say my father was everything to me, I do not mean only emotionally or as a father. He was also my mentor, my business and financial advisor, my life coach, and my source of inspiration. I am constantly asking myself, what am I going to do now? How am I meant to go through my life without my number one person? I feel so lost without him, and I don't understand why he was taken, because there were still so many things that we wanted to do, that we were meant to do together. But I guess I'll just have to trust Steve Jobs when he says, you cannot connect the dots looking forward. You can only connect the dots looking backwards. So you have to trust that the dots will somehow connect in your future. Daddy, I hope I make you even more proud and continue to make your legacy even greater. I love you, and rest in peace.
Okay, Masentle.
To the family, Minister of Basic Education, the Premier of Free State, and everyone mourning with us, protocol observed. Daddy, Mr. Makgoe, Papa, Mr. Simply the best. You weren't only the best at your work, but as a father. You'd walk in and would welcome you like the king you are. I always made a joke that the day I get married, you'd lead the negotiations because you groomed me and you know my worth. I didn't think we'd be in a situation like this, but you left too soon. We lost you and heaven has gained an angel. I know you are doing your Madiba dance as the heavens welcomes you in your white suit, and you weren't only a father to us, but to the whole province. And to Junior, Alisa, and Maki, please be strong. He raised us to be the eagles and to be strong. I know he would have said to Junior, Papa, I'm proud of you, my boy. And Junior would respond, I'm the man of the house now, Papa. And to Maki, Daddy loved you. We see it in the way you carry yourself, and you love us. Mama, I'm sorry.
Keep going.
I know it hurts, but thank you. Didi, to me. Papa loved us. He played his role, Horona. Let's love and support Mom and make Papa proud. Junior, when you seal that deal, don't forget to light a candle and tell him, Papa, we did it. I got it. I told you we'd get it, Mr. Makgoe. And that I'd go play golf and celebrate. And I just remember how happy he was riding that tractor. Like you always say, he'd walk in and say, Mr. Chohiwa, be strong for Maki and the whole family. And to the Free State Department of Education, continue what he started. And like he'd say, rest in peace, Daddy.
There you are, Junior.
Okay.
I guess this is the moment everybody's been waiting for.
You're not afraid.
No, I'm not afraid. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I know each and every person up here has come and done their protocols and greeted whom and the ministers and the people in power. But to me, the real superstars is everyone else in this room that came out and supported my dad in this time. So please give yourselves a round of applause. I acknowledge you also. Now that all protocol has been observed, I think we continue. As you can see, I'm a bit more lighthearted about this because I'm the joker in the family. And my dad always depended on me to keep things light. He always depended on me to make sure my sister's okay, to make sure my mom's okay, to make sure they're happy. My dad is not a person who liked sadness in his venue. So please allow me to be funny, to be a little bit less serious, and honor my father in my own specific way, right? First and foremost, I'd like to say, in as much as I get the media people are doing their job, guys, be careful with the cameras, because as now I was on TV, sandwich, and like, yeah, but I was on TV, sandwich. Now people are gonna see that on YouTube. They're gonna see me eating a sandwich, and also he caught me mid-bite, so like, I hadn't at least taken food or But all jokes aside, I genuinely love and appreciate every person that came out into this room. And yeah, the amount of love and support I've received from you guys has been what's been keeping me going. It's been what's keeping me pushing and hoping that things are going to be okay. But at the end of this, we are gathered for a painful occasion. But can I just please plead with every black individual in this room that we cannot just meet Harkopana di funerale. Can we please celebrate birthdays like this, celebrate celebrations like this, and just create an environment of love amongst our community? Now, okay. My dad. He used to call himself Ntwana Akasi. And there's a very true statement about him. Many of you may not have known, but my father went from being a garden boy to being an engineer. He was working for, since he was about 16, after his mother passed. His mother passed at 16. After his mother passed, he started working more and more and doing garden work. From doing garden work, he had, I don't want to call him a supervisor, I don't know, an employer, whatever the case may be, who used to give him books to read every single time he came through. So that man also expanded his knowledge. I wish I knew his name so that I can also pass along my gratitude to him, because none of us would be here if that man didn't start by instilling education in my father and believing in him as a garden boy. So I want to tell every black child in here, nothing is impossible. Nothing is impossible. My father went from doing garden, like Achota guys, like Yazi, you see it. Nah. He went from doing gardens to traveling to every continent on this planet. He's been to every single continent on the planet, and he started off as also an uneducated boy from a rural place with no parents, but somehow he's still able to touch this many lives. So black child, nothing is impossible, and please never doubt that. My father, I love two things. He loved his family, and he really loved education. And with the results just being announced, I don't know if Dr. Makgoe. Dr. Makgoe, where are you? Is he somewhere here? Is he here? Just. Is he not here? But okay, Dr. Makgoe, in your absence, where is it? Oh, right there. Dr. Makgoe, let me tell you a secret. Ne? My father always wanted Mutheo to be number one. So the fact that he got it just before he died was his dreaming wish. I even said maybe the reason he died, I was joking around with a couple of my cousins. Maybe the reason God decided to take him so early is maybe the matric results in heaven aren't really that great, so he went to go fix it. I told you I'm going to be lighthearted, guys. I loved my dad very much, and this is what he'd want me to do. Yeah? My dad was very committed to his job. A lot of you might think that because we are speaking so deeply about him, we had very, very close relationships with him, which wasn't really the case. My relationship with our father started getting much, much better as the years progressed. But that time when he was chasing number one, my dad would come home 8 o'clock at night, 6 o'clock in the morning, he's gone. That's how committed he was to his job. And the reason why my dad died is because he was committed to his job. He came to see me in Gauteng on the Saturday he passed away. I got to see him one last time. But he came to see me in Gauteng, and we had just rolled out a plan to ensure that the Free State enters a new dimension of educational training. And we had run about a 4 or 5 hour meeting discussing how we're going to plan it out. And I hope as a dying prophecy, I can continue that dream that he had for him. But why I say this job is what killed my father is because after our meeting, he was supposed to leave, and we decided to just have some food and discuss further business, right? And as we're doing such, he told me that he had a church conference to attend the following morning. Right? And he was, the pastor came and spoke about how at the beginning of every year after the results, he goes to church and he prays for students with the pastor. That's true. Because on the Saturday evening, I kept saying, just stay or leave in the morning or do something else. But he was like, no, Junie, I have church to attend tomorrow. I don't want the colored community to think that I don't love them or I don't hold them passionately also. So I'm going to make sure that tomorrow, 9 a.m., I'm at church. And unfortunately, he didn't make it. But he was so committed to making sure everybody's included that he would rather drive at 11 at night to make sure that he's on time, 9 a.m. in the morning, just so that you can see the support he has for everybody. It's not just localized to specific individuals, all right? Am I still on time?
Yes, I can do.
Okay, my speech is good, you forgot? Okay. Everybody says my dad was simply the best. And no one really knows where that story comes from. So let me tell you. I attended Grey College, primary school, high school. And Grey College High School has a thing, I see Miss Sherry. Hello, ma'am. Grey College actually, that was my teacher. But yeah, Grey College actually, they have something called the Music Festival. And in the music festival, the whole school comes and they sing songs. So I remember it was around about grade 9. To be honest, I don't really attend singing things and all these things, but there was something that they was like, oh, Dad, I'm actually enjoying this. Come watch us, come watch the school sing. When we came to watch the school sing, one of the songs we sang was simply the best. This was 2013. In 2013, one of the songs Greg College sang on stage was simply the best. And he was so touched by that song, he's like, my son, that song has hit me so much. Next time I come out number 1 in the Free State, I'm going to play Simply the Best. And that's where Simply the Best comes from. Okay, let me say that the Honorable Sisi Ntombela, the former Premier, said yesterday that the media must be careful how they paint us, because at the end of the day, we are human beings. And she mentioned me giving up on the Free State and packing my things and going to Gauteng. It is true, but, it is true that I did go to Gauteng, but because of what was said about me, which was plainly untrue, it made me rethink the politics of the Free State, and I did pack up my things and go to Gauteng. But after our meeting on Saturday, after the plans we drew out on Saturday, I promised him as his farewell wish or his farewell statement that I'm not going to give up on the Free State. I'm going to keep pushing it and progressing it. And yeah, I had actually been writing some bullet points for this speech. It's not a speech, it's just bullet points. For things I'm going to talk about. And one of the things that I felt after the memorial was a lot of pain, as I assume everybody here felt a lot of pain. And I almost cursed myself into saying that I hope God kills me sooner so I can be with my father. But I want him to know. I want him to know even that he's dead, that the black child will never suffer while I'm still alive. Whew. Yeah, that's enough. I just had to throw that in there because it was emotional for me, and I hope he knows that I will continue fighting to eradicate poverty, to educate the youth, and to advance South Africa the way he wanted me to. And, whew. Okay, I promise, those are the last ones, no? Those are the last ones. But unfortunately, I think I'll be done for now because I feel I can control myself better. But the one thing I will say, and the one thing I will say in closing, is that all of us here, guys, please support black business, please support your community, please progress your community, because that's what he stood for. That's what he stood for. And I was just going to not wear my jacket and show you what I had planned, but my mom wanted me to do it another way. She wanted me to add some drama. So why I say support local brands, because I had actually gone to a shop called Kasi Flava. I don't know, I'm sorry about the pronunciation, because you never know, you know? But I had actually asked them to make a portrait of my father on my waistcoat so I could keep it forever. So, I just want to say, I love you, Dad. I know he knows it. And I know he wanted me to be this strong when I stood here, because he'd always call me Sebata or Kakapa or something along those lines. And I wish even up in heaven he knows that I'm going to do my best to make him proud. And I promise to progress the Free State and the black community just as he's been doing. Thank you very much.
Okay. Let's give them a round of applause. We may just even rise. We may just even rise and give them a round of applause. That's Tate Makgoe's children. Thank you very much for a wonderful eulogy to your father. We may sit down. Thank you. Thank you very much for an unbelievable, wonderful eulogy to your father. And I'm sure wherever he is, with his sweet smiles, he continues to smile on you and give the strength to you as his children. The fact that you were able to address this gathering here, he must have been looking over your shoulders and giving you the necessary strength. Thank you very much and good luck as you attempt to emulate him and to follow his wishes as your father. Thank you very much. I move on with the program, and I request Mpho Mochwari to advance to the podium, and the following will rise when Mrs. Makgoe's tribute is read. They better come up here. They better come up here. Tshepi Seakamela Dimpho Khayane and Rio will rise. So let's invite Mpho Mochwari to come and read the message and the tribute from Sis Ivy, the wife. Togo?
Oh Dumelang bohle, ka lebitso ke Mpho Mochwari, and I'm standing here with my cousin sisters, Dimpho le Tshepi. I think as my cousin brother has said, all protocol has been observed. As you can imagine, my auntie is not strong enough to stand here, so we are here to actually relay her message, her tribute to our uncle, her husband. To my loving husband, father of my children, my best friend, and my compass, my Mr. Makgoe. It is with a heavy heart that I write this message and bid you farewell.
Sorry. The corporate program director here reminds me as we take this message, you should rise.
Okay.
My apologies. Start from afresh.
Okay. I'll start from afresh. To my loving husband, father of my children, my best friend, my compass, my Mr. Makgoe. It is with a heavy heart that I write this message to bid you farewell so suddenly and so soon. You have been a tower of strength in our lives, our protector, advisor, and guardian angel. Love and humility has shaped our lives together, and I am grateful to God for bringing us together. You were quite a visionary and you had a unique ability to drive us to fulfill our dreams. Our lives were shaped by your astute foresight, brilliant mind, and wisdom. You managed to protect our family and helped us understand your career of serving the people of this country. You were the best father to your children. They were not spoiled with finer things in life, but you always asked them to work hard and make sure they succeed. You encouraged them to be entrepreneurs because you believed that that is the space as Black people we have not tapped in. You encouraged them to be employers, not employees, and explained that they would create employment and compete internationally for contribution in economic development. You supported them so much that they would call you to advise them in anything. Your children were denied cell phones and television. They were only allowed to watch television from Friday until Sunday at 4 o'clock in the afternoon because you wanted them to concentrate on their studies and do so well. As a result of the discipline, all your children did very well in their matric exams, and your son, Junior, is the first Black student to have his name engraved on the board of top achievers at Grey College, and was in the Dean's list at the University of Cape Town. You encouraged the kids to pursue engineering studies at the prestigious University of the Cape Town because you have always acknowledged that in your youth, these opportunities were not available to Black people. Your love for engineering was more elevated. Oh my God. Your love for engineering was more elevated when you saw the 4D scan of your unborn grandchild, and we are grateful for that technology that you saw your grandchild before your departure. I would adorably remember how you changed and saved my name on your phone to Mother of Engineers. After the children finished their studies in engineering studies, you found the most joy in their achievements and gave them confidence to soar for greater heights. When your daughter got married, you were so happy and adopted your son-in-law as your own, Nash. You loved him so much. You were very strict, but you did not hold any grudges unnecessarily. You would reprimand a person and forget about it immediately. You were a straight talker and never minced your words, but meant no harm at all. And continues.
I continue to read. You believed in us and you pushed us to do our best. I looked up to you and admired your calm and courageous nature. I would complain about work and how to handle issues, and you would say, Ms. Makgoe, you must respect authority. If your boss sees things differently, just accept because he has authority. I thought we were going to grow old together, raise our grandchildren, and influence the direction that you would like them to go. I have learned a lot from you, and I will remember in particular these lessons. Respect authority if you don't respect the person, then respect the position they hold. Do your best, even if you feel that nobody notices. Somebody is always watching, and they will be recognized. You were good with finances. You always said, never tell your children you have money. Pretend as if you are struggling so that they would know they must work for your money and they will respect money. Always be positive and optimistic in life, even if there's a dark cloud hanging around you. To my children, I would like to remind you that your father loved you and our family with all of his heart. Always remember that he was very strict yet reasonable when you look back at the results. He carried you on his shoulders and celebrated you even with the very small achievements. He had a very positive outlook to life and did not sweat the small stuff. When one complains, he would advise that one should focus on the positive side of things. He valued his home and his sanctuary and always advised that home was where we came to seek peace and tranquility. We have experienced extraordinary love from you, and we shared your love with many others because of who you are. In your last years in life, you recommitted yourself to God. You loved the church and I introduced you to Eagles Christian Church. You respected God, loved the church, and I'm very proud of him for this transformation. We love you, and we'll always remember you in Tate Makgoe. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you. We may be seated. That's a moving tribute from the wife, Ivy. This is the Tate that we know that you are describing in your message. And we are grateful that we could also share him with the family. Is Sichava here? Togo? Sichava is not here. Kimangolo Mamalete, Kimasello. Sello. Sello, are you here? Yoga. Thank you. Thank you very much, Silo. Earlier on, I wanted to say, when I called you on stage, Semi-Malete, now they reminded me, Silo. Thank you very much. We are going to proceed. We have listened to the family. The funeral is first a family funeral before it becomes a provincial official funeral. So we gave the family the opportunity to talk to us. So my 4 minutes rule is coming back. My 4 minutes rule is coming back. Let me invite Usekgofetse Dibechu from Atlehan Secondary School. She's going to do a poem.
Thank you to the program director, Premier of the Free State, Mr. Dukwana, National Minister of Basic Education, Me Mutshekga, and the bereaved Makgoe family, all protocol observed. My name is Usekgofetse Dibechu. I am a 9th grader from Atlehan Senior Secondary School. In memory of our Honorable MEC, Dr. Tate Makgoe, I stand with pride on behalf of all learners in the Free State Province. Where would I start if I had to talk about this giant? Some called him Mr. Number One, some called him Mr. Simply the Best. To us, he was the father who left no child behind. Father of the Free State education. Passionate, loving, caring father indeed. Ga re le bale fa o ne o re. Re tla ba pheta, re be re ba phete, ba be ba tlwaele. Your leadership will be seen in us. We are proud to be called the learners of the Free State. To you, performance mattered, and it became the norm. You never stopped to amaze us. For that, we thank you. Your presence in our schoolyards was that of a father and not the MEC. The entire province held you in high regards and will always do. Boeteledipele bona o ne o botsaletswe. O ne o le sekgatlhamela masisi. O ne o kgaratlela thuto ya mo Afrika. Thuto ya ngwana yo mongwe le yo mongwe. Wa siya Afrika Borwa e maketse. La re nyedi, la re tseke, lefatshe la sala le maketse. As Free State learners, we commit to keep your light burning. O ne o etsa fela mogaka wa rona. Your legacy will be seen in us. Rest in eternal peace. We thank you.
Thank you very much, Usekufeze, for that tribute. Thank you very much. I did acknowledge earlier the Secretary General of the African National Congress, Comrade Fikile Mbalula. He has now joined us. He is now in the house. Welcome, SG. We are proceeding with our program, and I'm calling up here 4 speakers. Jomo, kien of Tate Makgoe na ore. Mujomane of Tate.
Dumela, leka, kina Jomo lempe. Okay, kina Jomo lempe. Abdi Tate ki agoba lega khoso. Nsegia go kaofela Abdi Tate khale kia ki le sa bo alama ampulela Abdi Tate unasna le moto unapila le batho but who is in Lusaka Lusaka. His Mandela is in Lusaka, yes. His Mandela is in Lusaka. His Oliver Tambo is in Lusaka, yes. His Oliver Tambo is in Lusaka. His Little and Malayan Bota is in Lusaka. No, I can't Lusaka, I can resign. I just am a take. 1960, and a Shaviri shooting, and Sibuking, and Sigela, and Naza, by Sava. Magwala. Ki rata Digi ki tswa hole le yena. Thank you.
Ke mjomana wa Tate ne ke tla ba mathateng a ke sa mo fe sebaka sa hore a ka otle poem e le nngwe. Re a leboha mjomana. 4 minutes rule. Professor Silisho, Marematlo Institute, Johan Forsted, former principal of Grey College, Nicholas Tate Makgoe, Investec, and Pastor Sizwe Honoko. 4 minutes, 4 minutes, and 4 minutes. On stage. Please come up. Please come up the stage.
Good morning. Let me first acknowledge the Honorable Premier, Tate Makgoe, Minister of Basic Education, Mema Makgoe, le family. I will try to unpack my journey with Tate Makgoe within the allocated time of 4 minutes. Well, it's going to be difficult, but I will try. This is the man that I have known for almost 15 years, working side by side with him. He was a pioneer in ensuring that quality teaching and learning takes place in our school. He brought life and hope to small business through his commitment and dedication. I met Tate Makgoe in 2009 after he was elected an MEC of Education, coming from Treasury. He came to me with Dr. Tate Makgoe. I was still employed by CUT. He was very excited about the new job. And then we sat in the grass, just in front of Putrowski Hall. I was asking myself, what kind of MEC is this one? We just sat at the pavement. He said, I'm excited about the new job precisely because of the impact and the nature of the job. His main aim was to change the lives of ordinary black child. MEC Makgoe gave hope to Free Staters being in business and community. Tate Makgoe wanted a rich and a better future for black child. He believed that our future will become incomplete without a better education. Tate Makgoe was not shy to come down to you when he needed your advice. I'm sure that Tate Tlale Mogadi is here, Tate Maserumpa is here, and Tate Sibilwani is here. Tate Makgoe had his own engineer, his own QS, and the mess person at the back room. And myself, I was assisting him in the educational matters. We were in our mid-30s at that time, and he will always consult us whenever you want to make any educational decision. I'm a beneficiary of giving the opportunity by Tate Makgoe and the then Chief Director, Dr. Tate Makgoe. They believed in me when no one could. Regardless of how small my business was in 2009, it was just a side hustle. Tate Makgoe and Makgoe planted a seed in my business. Today, I employ a total of 164 young teachers coming from Free State. Through him, my business continues to grow. My model was tested in the Free State province. Tate Makgoe gave me responsibility of supporting the grade 12 children in improving the results in the province. We started work in September in 2009, and the results improved by 0.2%. Many of you will recall that the results at that time were announced in the morning. As I was preparing to go to the matric function, you realize that your performance this year was just 0.2% increment. That was devastating. They continued to give us the opportunity. All of us will remain that Free State was ranging between 60 at that time, sitting at position 2 in the national ranking. Today we are at 88% plus, and we are ranking number 1. Okay, thank you very much, DDG. Tate Makgoe was very good in convincing us. He brought the three of us, myself, Tlale, and Maseru, to fundraise. We took 2 schools from Kwakwa to Rwanda, and we took 1 school to Kenya with our money, without the government money. The matric well-run function, the spelling bee, the mental mess, the teachers award, and all those things were done without the government money. On our last day, we introduced an issue of meeting every Friday to discuss some of the educational issue. Before he passed away, I called him at 3 o'clock. He did not answer my call. He came back to me at 6:15. He said, I'm going to Gauteng tomorrow. We will postpone our meeting this week to meet on Sunday afternoon after church. I was waiting to meet him after church, and I got a call in the morning, and that was the sad story of my life. When reflecting on Chino novel, Things Fall Apart, sometimes life put a knife on things that held us together. And I think we have fallen apart. The glue that sticks us together is no longer here. Tate Makgoe was a giant, a special one, and a true character. Words cannot describe how we feel and our reflection on passing of our beloved MEC. It is on this time of this nature that we must have faith and the resilience to continue with that journey. As we conclude, Tate Makgoe was the best of all, and he will be sorely missed. Let us cherish the times and the moment that we shared together. May the Lord keep the family safe under his wing as they begin to navigate this new existence. Our prayer are with the family. Go well, my brother. We will miss you.
Good morning, premiers of the two provinces, all the others who are present here today, especially Tate Makgoe, the Minister of Basic